everyone. Welcome to Work Love Wednesday. Samm and Smelter here for Work Love Wednesday. It is time for Work Love Wednesday. Hi, Facebook. We're live on Work Love Wednesday, and it is 10:27. I'm 3 minutes early because we pushed the time back to 10:30, thinking that mostly that I would just make it on time so that those of you that do want to hop on live can. And so now we have this 3-minute buffer. And before we start talking about my topics for today, which are hair, fear, love, and nightmares, and seriously, they're all connected, and a real-time kind of lesson happening. But we'll give 3 minutes for those who might want to hop on for that topic. But in the meantime, here's something really cool. I brought them in today, finally. So Saturday is the open house, the holiday open house here at Leadership Arts Associates. And it's really kind of cool for me because for the last 4 years, I've been doing this party that's been known as Sugar Rush at my house, but it's really been connecting people that I've been meeting through my business. And it's always like a really nice, fun event. It's gotten very, very large. So now we're transitioning it to the office. So the open house is from 10 to 3. From 10 to 12, really, we're doing some really cool things from our traditional kind of open house, doing 2 workshops that are very related to self-care, if you need those, and and mini services. I was like, what is the other thing that we're doing? So we're going to be doing Reiki and coaching sessions, intuitive or non-intuitive. Basically, you can have your choice. All the practitioners are going to be here, so you can pick whoever you like. Then at 12 o'clock, we're going to transition into party mode and do the Sugar Rush, which there's like a cookie competition. Really fun. You bring a dozen cookies. I don't care if you made them, bought them, whatever, because it's just cool to see them, to see who wins, even when some people buy like Oreos and put them on a tray. One year my mom made stuff out of a box, and she won all kinds of awards for the categories. But sometimes they're just that good when they come out of a box. So, and then we have some people who in the past have really brought their A game in regards to presentation, and we've done different kinds of categories. And I think this year it's most creative, prettiest, and best tasting. And so those who come to the party get to vote, and then we have some fun gifts, and it's a good time. But we're also doing, for the first time, an ornament workshop because we're not at my house, and I wanted to make sure that there was something for the kiddos to do. So I took on this task to think if I could creatively make a unicorn ornament, which for those of you who know, I nicknamed the unicorn. But on top of that, not only am I nicknamed the unicorn, but we designed this new HR personality assessment that came out this week. This year, that talked about the unicorn personality, which is designed based off of what I did. So I thought I was really compelled to do that. So it's really beautiful. So we're going to be working on those. His horn is really, really big, now that I look at it on there. And then I made a dragon one. So proud of myself. They're so cute. So look at them with their natural little spinnies. So these are $5 to make, and half of the proceeds are going to go to actually Life Paths here in York, PA, which is a local organization. We have still room to register for those. I'm really just pre-registering so that I know how many materials to have on hand for people who want to make these. So it's going to be a really good time. I'm really excited for it. You'll also notice I'm not wearing any glasses because I'm using this other light to help make sure that you can see my face, and it does not do well with the glasses. It creates these really awful circles. You can see this like this. You see, that's kind of creepy, and I'm not going to do that. So it is 10:31, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our content. And so welcome to Work Love Wednesday. The whole gist of Work Love Wednesday is providing you some weekly inspiration to make sure that you stay connected to that professional path that you feel called to serve on. And that requires so many different things, a lot of taking care of you, a lot of feeding what you need so that you can be successful. Sometimes there's just some practical things that we need to know too. So the lessons that we talk about really are kind of not spur of the moment, but they're very relevant as to what's happening with my growth. One of the things that I've kind of come to learn, especially in the coaching arena, that those that seek out coaching from me are people who are basically having the same struggles as myself at that current time, and it's a collaborative kind of learning process together. And so taking that as a cue, I basically now use that to generate the content for Work Love Wednesday. And so today I kind of knew the topic that I wanted to talk about was fear versus love, which I think is a really powerful lesson, and I was reminded of it 2 weekends ago, and I want to share that with all of you because I think it's very powerful to know that. But in the meantime, something that tied it all together even more so has to do with hair and nightmares. So first off, let's just get this out of there. Last night, between 11:30 and midnight, I had this horrible nightmare, almost horror film kind of context. I can't even tell you the last time that I've had a nightmare like that. And needless to say, is that right? Yeah, needless to say, I couldn't go back to sleep. So I was up from probably about 12:30 on. So we'll see how long I last today. And that's probably why I look a little tired, because I did not put makeup on my face because I tend to rub if I do that. But because of my weird evening that I had, or overnight that I had, and lack of sleep with this kind of nightmare, I was kind of having a lazy morning where I took a long shower halfway through the night thinking that maybe that would help calm me down and I could go back to sleep, and it didn't work. But my hair got all funky from being like hanging out and just bebopping around in the wee hours of the morning. So I apologize to those of you that maybe got weird emails from me because I was getting caught up on work because I didn't really have much of anything else to do. But so my hair looked really funky, and I know I had to do this today. And then also my 2 little girls chopped their hair off last night. We went to Supercuts just to kind of get a trim, and both of them wanted to go really short, so their hair is really short, really cute, and they have massive cowlicks. So I had to plug in the flat iron to kind of get those cowlicks out. And while it was plugged in, I thought, well, I have cowlicks because of this weird funky night that I had, so why don't we just straighten out my hair too? And so this literally has been the first time that I have straightened my hair in almost a year. I think it was last January that I started wearing it curly again. And when I started to think about that, this really kind of marks the 1 year point in time where I really got comfortable with being who I was, authentically, like really embracing that, down to how my hair is naturally. And so anyways, so just had you can tell I've been not sleeping very well, so I am zoning out. Anyways, so for most of my life, I have straightened my hair because I didn't like the way that I looked with curly hair. A lot of my friends all had the very straight, flat hair, and I wanted to be like them. I can even remember the first time that I found my first flat iron. It was at a yard sale, and it was at a yard sale. It was a really old school one from like the 70s and 80s. And I was so excited when my mom said that I could use whatever was in my piggy bank to get it and use this thing to really flat iron my hair and get it really, really straight. Because one of the things that I always struggled with is, like, my mom would tell me I could blow dry it, but it's not this straight. Like, it's just flat iron straight. for those of you that don't know. And I wanted my hair to look like all of my friends at school who had really flat, straight hair. And so that's been most of my life, is trying to fit in. And so in the last year in particularly, I've been doing some things that really have been pushing me growth-wise. And in doing so, the curly hair kind of made an appearance and came back. And I got really used to it, and I got so much time back. I mean, I'm spending close to almost an hour doing my hair. And that all went away. So I've gotten time to really be intentional about my mornings and having a morning ritual, because I don't have to spend all this time to get ready. In fact, it's so bad that when we do have to go someplace and I need to do something different with my hair, I have like no time context of how long that's going to take me. So I say all that because it really links it back into this concept that I want to share with you about the difference between fear and love. And at any given day or time, when we are making choices, when we are engaging in life, we're either operating from a place of fear or a place of love. And love is, thinking about this in a more general kind of context, it's love for yourself, showing love for yourself, love for others, kindness, goodness, all those things kind of play in there. Joy, the love and a general contents of love for life, rather than this romantic sense of love. And fear, even expanding that further, and not holding it to just, I'm afraid of spiders, I'm afraid of snakes, I'm afraid of the dark, scary nightmares, that kind of stuff. But also, I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of what people might think. And those things are equally as, well, I shouldn't say even equally, but that is what we're really looking for, is paying attention to what are we really afraid of, and when do we feel love. And so at any given moment, we can either operate out of fear or love. So taking my hair example about with the flat iron, I can tell you that I was operating out of fear, because if I looked different, what would other people think? And I was afraid of what other people would think. Even more so, I was afraid if people would like me or love me because of the way that I looked, if I looked funny. And I can see little pieces of this even present in my oldest daughter, who's 7 right now, when she's asking questions about, she has wavy, very thick wavy hair, in relation to some of her friends who have very straight, thin hair. She's thinking about, what are they thinking of me? And it's questioning not only the value, but the love that's there. And so it's operating out of fear. Last year, she actually cut her hair on her own, trying to make it in hopes of removing the curl so that she looked like the other individuals, because it's out of fear of not being liked. And so 2 weeks ago, I had a very nice reminder, and basically I was challenged to, at the top of every hour, to do basically a check-in and see where I'm at in that moment. Am I operating out of love or out of fear? Because if I'm operating out of fear, I'm basically draining my energy. Fear and being afraid takes a lot out of us. It even makes us more exhausted than it is than just on an average day. And so much so, like even talking about having the nightmare last night, being legit afraid in a traditional kind of true sense is very emotionally taxing, to have that kind of a high level of anxiety. And so we have those undertones of fear that kind of trickle through our day, and those things have an impact on our energy as well. We want to make sure that we're operating from a place of love. And when I had this reminder, I was really talking about being able to be intentional, functioning my day from a place of love, so that when I would go home, I would be able to give to my family the way that I want to, give to my spouse the way that I want to. As passionate professionals, we have a tendency that we can just give all day, and we can just run so hard and then be so tired at the end of the day that we just want to basically be a zombie on the couch, and be kind of lifeless. And how is that fair? Because the people that matter the most to us, or even the hobbies or the things that we do that matter the most to us, don't get our time and attention. And then it's so out of balance. And so last week when I talked about the yin and the yang and how we need to focus more on reflection and the need for balance in our life, that we have to have the yang, which is, professional, but also the yin, which is personal and deep and a serious level of fulfillment. And so I challenge you to really ask yourself, think about what love and functioning from a place of love for you actually looks like and feels like. And so when you're doing a check-in and you're having a decision that you're making, if you're feeling those sense of anxieties, if you feel like you're on edge, if you feel like things are just going 3 million miles a minute, asking yourself, what am I afraid of? Because those really big gut reactions and feelings are really symptoms of being afraid, and thinking about fear in that kind of big, broader sense. And then asking, if I was seeing this through a lens of love, and if I was coming at this from a place of love, if I was functioning in a place of love, what would that feel like? And when we're truly present and able to stay connected with what we want to do and this great, wonderful opportunity of life that we have, we stay connected. We stay in the lane of love. So that is my little rant today for this Work Love Wednesday. Make sure that if you are watching, even if this is later and not at the live time, make sure you hop in and say hello. It doesn't show me who's watching, so I don't know who's watching if you don't say hey. I know some of you have been sending me text messages or emails about things that you've watched on some of the videos over the last few weeks, and I love getting those. And don't hesitate to mention something that you want to see, or a topic or a question that you have. I want to be here and be of service and help to give you some Wednesday words of reflection so that you can further your growth. So until next Wednesday, have a great day, and I'll see ya.